So the CMO of OpenAI just published an essay that declared that everybody, and I mean everybody, is in marketing now. Bring on all the marketers is the title. The salesperson builds the campaign, the engineer shapes the launch story. Bring on all the marketers. Using AI tools now, those non-marketers can take an idea all the way forward now, from concept to even maybe production. Now, full disclosure, the author, Colin Fleming, is a friend of mine. He used to drive race cars. He's got charm. He's got research, and he's got a point. And also, in full transparency, in our discussion, Colin and I discussing on LinkedIn, we actually do end up agreeing on almost everything. But there is a version of his argument that's showing up in your office right now, and that's what I want to talk about. The version that is making your marketing team miserable at the moment. Let's get into it. Okay, first, what the essay actually gets really right, because it is real. One, ideas for marketing now can come from anywhere in the business. That's been true forever, but it's really important now. Two, AI has collapsed the cost of taking an idea forward from concept to even production. And three, maybe Colin's best line, is that AI now makes it easy to create, quote, an enormous amount of perfectly competent garbage. Now hold on to that line because it's going to come back. So big thing here is that since I wrote this response, Colin and I have compared notes on LinkedIn and had a lovely discussion about it. And, maybe he could have been clearer about the sequencing, and I allowed that I could have read a little stridence that he never intended. And we actually agree on the big thing, which is the judgment, discernment, and strategy belongs squarely in the hands of marketers. But I'm making this video anyway because Colin's version of the argument is the careful version. The version I hear every single week from executives and vendors and the tech bros that are out there keep his headline, but lose every one of the caveats. So this isn't about my friend. It's about the chorus that's singing his song much louder and in a much, much worse tune. Here's problem one with that chorus's version. The door they're heroically kicking open, the one that says we should bring on all the marketers, well, that's been open for 50 years. David Packard supposedly said marketing is too important to be left to the marketing department back when cars had big fins on them, right? And of course, that's been true, right? The idea of everybody is in marketing has always been true. And every marketer now looks at the actual abuse of that statement and knows the oldest eye roll in our profession, which is everybody in the company basically has two jobs, theirs and marketing. I mean, I've spent decades fielding strategy suggestions from all parts of other parts of the business that begin with, you know what you guys should really do? So marketing has never gate-kept the idea. What we've held imperfectly, sometimes grumpily, was the verdict of what to do. Problem two with this argument. The argument does kind of a round trip. See, it opens by handing marketing to everybody, then kind of quietly admits that, well, when everybody can create something, forgettable. And then it closes by handing marketing right back to the people who, know what good looks like. The whole thing hinges on this full stack marketer having, quote, enough judgment. Enough judgment. Nobody asks where that judgment comes from, how long it takes to build, or who pays for it. It's just assumed to be kind of, ambient, like Wi-Fi. And regular viewers to this video and others like it know exactly where I believe that comes from. It comes from reps. It comes from years of making things, arguing about them, living with the consequences, the exact thing that companies are currently cheating their teams out of. And then problem number three, well, let me just show you what everybody can take an idea forward actually looks like in some of these businesses. So what it looks like is the executive who uses AI to generate a white paper over the weekend, then hands it to marketing Monday morning because it's awesome and they just need to clean it up. That's a very small phrase for reverse engineering a strategy into some document that never had one. Or it looks like the salesperson who ships a campaign concept right from a prompt out to customers. Of course it's good. We're closest to the product, they say. It looks like also maybe marketing spending its entire week as the last human in everybody else's loop. Now, the argument, the one that the chorus is singing, they call that a promotion. Marketing sets the standard for what deserves to ship. That sounds fancy. It sounds operational, right? Exactly a demotion. In other words, it parks marketing at the end of everybody else's assembly line as the approvals desk. Quality control for an infinite stream of, say it with me, perfectly competent garbage. Now, Notice, again, the big benefit of this argument, the irony on speed. The pitch is that this is going to make marketing faster. But a model where everybody generates drafts, takes some of those drafts even forward to some level of production, and then expects marketing to inspect and repair and dignify it afterward, that does not speed marketing up. It slows it down and shoves it downstream, out of strategy into a cleanup role. Fewer handoffs, right? Look closer. It's one giant handoff now from everybody to marketing at the very end. So Colin opened his essay with race cars, so, let me close with race cars. When the cars at Le Mans get faster, nobody hands the steering wheel around the paddock, right? A faster car makes the driver more important because speed raises the price of bad judgment. AI just made the car very, very fast. That's an argument for a deeper bench of experienced driver. It has never been the argument for more amateur hands on the steering wheel. So here's my counteroffer, and it fits on a sticky note. Don't bring on all the marketers, bring on more marketers. Welcome every idea from every corner of the business. We always have. The invitation was never the problem. The sequence is. Flip it. Put marketing upstream where it has always belonged. Strategy before positioning, positioning before message, expressed as a brief that tells the company which of its 1,000 ideas is worth an afternoon of anyone prototyping. Then absolutely, let the salesperson draft, let the engineer cut the video. They're building into a strategy now, not onto a pile. The core says marketing sets the standard for what deserves to ship. Move the standard to the front of the line. Marketing sets the standard for what deserves to be started in the first place. And that takes people. Hire marketers. Keep the entry-level roles where the judgment gets built. Train the ones you have until each one of them really can be all the marketers, formed enough to know what deserves to exist before anybody spends their lunch hour making it. Colin's closing line is one we both absolutely believe. The job is to move quickly without forgetting what good looks like. Just remember, the remembering isn't free. It's the most expensive thing in our profession. It's built slowly, in people, and on purpose. Remember that. And it's your story. Remember it well. And I'll see you next week.